internal roads today. Yesterday, it flagged off the construction of Elekaya internal roads. Governor Nyesom Wike during the flag off said political leaders must be concerned about the development of their area. He said Rivers people should hold responsible for not delivering any project that was promised by his administration.
But let me say clearly that, in politics, people are good at propaganda. I'm sure so many of you, people have told you I was not going to do anything for the Kaya community. I'm sure most of them have run away to Abuja. They don't want to come and see the flag off. But let me commend Amangada, the primary ruler of Kaya. Even when he was outside the country, he would send me text messages and say which day will be the Kaya turn. For me, that's what leadership is all about your own people.
Moving on. The Federal High Court in Port Harcourt has cleared the APC in Rivers State to contest the 2023 elections. Justice Rakim Mohammed dismissed a suit by the PDP asking the court to nullify the candidacy of all the legislative candidates of the APC in the state on the ground that their primaries were not monitored by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and that they failed to comply with the Electoral Act. Justice Mohammed dismissed the case for lack of jurisdiction based on an earlier judgment by the Court of Appeal, which barred political parties from interfering in the internal affairs of other parties. Reacting to this, APC spokesperson Darlington Wauju said attempts to hijack the constitutional roles of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to monitor and supervise congresses and primaries of political parties as enshrined in the Electoral Act is defeated.
They moved to twist the electorates in this state by trying to appoint candidates for political parties, which would have forced the electorates not to have the freedom of options, has been given a decent burial. The correct interpretation given to Section 285 sub 14 of the 1999 Constitution as amended is that no political party has any right to question the internal affairs of other political parties.
The Accord in Rivers State has secured another legal victory against the PDP. This is as the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt yesterday struck out the suit brought against the House of Assembly candidates of Accord by the PDP. It follows Tuesday's ruling that struck out PDP's suit against the Accord governorship and National Assembly candidates. Reacting to the latest ruling, the Rivers State governorship candidate of Accord, Dumolulu Briggs, expressed happiness over the judgment. He described PDP as meddlesome interlopers who are scared of facing other political parties at the polls. Dumolulu Briggs said that the judgment will boost the confidence of the common man in the Nigerian judiciary and that the candidates of Accord will defeat the PDP in the elections next year.
It's very clear. Settled bad, meddlesome interloping is not allowed. Only men, you are the PDP. You are the big man. You've been around all along since 1999. You've been in government. Mind your business and governance. And not begin to meddle in the affairs of other parties. So what they've been afraid of, which is elections coming up in March, they will face the electorate. The Rivers will decide who will govern them. The PDP will not choose. It's not by choosing, it's by election. So as a big party, do and prepare for election. We shall meet you at the polls and defeat you. I have told you times without number that the Goliath has fallen.
Also, the chairman of Accord, Nana Onyekwere, expressed happiness with the judgment, saying that it was the handiwork of God.
The summary is that there is God, and again reaffirms the faith of the every man on the road, that the court is still our hope for justice. We are happy with the judgment, and God has vindicated us, and we are moving on from here.
Chairman National Youth Council of Nigeria, Rivers State Chapter, Chijioke Unwo, has constituted a three-man panel to investigate the recent attack on some officials of the Rivers State Ministry of Youth Development led by the Permanent Secretary, Roland Obed White, by some youths at Rumunduru community in Obiakpo local government area. Mr. Unwo, at a briefing yesterday in Port Harcourt, condemned the attack against the government officials who were present to supervise the Rumunduru Youth Movement election. He suspended the election pending the outcome of the investigation into the incident.
The election was supposed to hold about 2 weeks ago. The permanent secretary came in there with some officers of the Rivers State government, were attacked by some presidential candidates. So what has happened, the state government is not happy, and the National Council of Nigeria, the apex youth body in the state, is also happy. And every issues concerning the youth have been put on hold. We have set up a panel of inquiry headed by the legal advisor of the Youth Council Rivers State by Sachigo Zemi to ascertain the cause during, before, and after that incident.
Mr. Anwo advised politicians in Rumunduru community to stay away from youth elections.
A former member of the National Assembly, he was from Rumunduru community, on a Blikechu, has intruded into this matter and it's not been fair. He said he has claimed that he's of the electoral committee, and I want to clearly say that he does not have such power to dissolve the electoral committee. He's not the one who formed that electoral committee, and the electoral committee still stands. And no other person has such power to constitute the caretaker committee in the community without the presence of the Rivers State Ministry of Youth, headed by the Commissioner for Youth Development and the National Council of Nigeria. So it will be bad that a politician will come in this guy because you want people to vote for a party.
Still ahead, federal government speaks on ICPC's probe into N-Power. Stay tuned. We go for a short break. Thank you for staying tuned. Welcome back. Now to the rest of the newscast. The federal government says it invited the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, to unravel cases of fund diversion associated with the N-Power program. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Nazer Sani Gwazo, in a statement said there has been some discrepancies in the payment processes of N-Power beneficiaries. He said the ministry is aware that certain persons have been invited for interrogation as part of the ongoing investigations. Recall that reports yesterday said Singer Dibanj was invited by the ICPC over alleged diversion of N-Power funds. Now to business. An economist, Peter Mede, says the recent policy and cash withdrawal by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, will help to control inflation. Dr. Mede, a lecturer in the Department of Economics at the University of Port Harcourt, however, said that the CBN is fighting inflation without a corresponding level of productivity to increase supply. He said the situation will also affect investment and the demand for labor.
I say for me, the policy is targeted at reducing inflation by reducing the liquidity in the economy. But my concern is that fighting inflation just using monetary tools will hamper the economy. Because when you are trying to reduce spending from the economy by withdrawing money without corresponding production of goods and services, then you end up destroying some aggregates in the economy, just like unemployment. You end up inducing some hardship on the economy as well as creating more unemployment. So that's our concern.
Also, a public affairs analyst, Emmanuel Ashekpo, tells correspondent Emeka Otuka that the policy is to grow the economy by reducing the amount of money in the hands of individuals.
I actually agree with CBN on this. This might not be a very popular opinion. People keeping money to themselves in their houses for whatever reason does not help the real sector. If you earn your money legally, you shouldn't be scared of this policy at all, because you can do all your transactions online. So you're restricted to just carrying cash. Your money in the bank is still your money. However, this policy took them unawares, and the time frame, it's too short that they can't do away with all those money unless they give it back to the public.
Individuals will now be able to withdraw only 100,000 naira per week from over-the-counter POS machines or ATMs, whereas corporate organizations can only access 500,000 naira per week. The new policy by the CBN is effective from January 9, 2023. Banks will only load 200 naira and lower denominations in their ATM. A survey done at the Mile 1 market in Port Harcourt shows that a 50 kg bag of rice is now being sold for 40,000 naira, while a bag of foreign rice is being sold for 45,000 naira. A custard rubber of local rice is sold for 3,800 naira, and a custard rubber of foreign rice is now being sold for 4,000 naira. Our correspondent who visited the market yesterday also reports that a small basket of just tomatoes is now sold for 8,000 naira, and a basket of onions now goes for 22,000 naira. Meanwhile, 5 liters of vegetable oil now goes for 7,500 naira. Our correspondent spoke to some traders who complained of low patronage.
Christmas no go dey. The reason being that money no dey because of that flood wey affect many people. Wetin be the happiness of recruitment go do now? They say you no get anything again to do Christmas. That kind no dey as seen dey before.
Budget very high. Egg wey we dey buy 1.8 before now is 2,000. No dey join market now. Customers when they come. Anyway, this month past last month for customer, but no Christmas my this time around because no money. So my money will waste the money.
It's the Nigerian condition. Nothing comes down. It's affecting everywhere. You can see there's no customers. Maybe they will eat it when it is in the heat. Therefore now we are not seeing any customers.
The CDC chairman of Ruma Olu community, Okechukwu Victor Amadi, is calling the attention of the state government and security agencies as he alleges plans by Kinikanwo Nyegwa to cause communal crisis in the community. In a statement, Mr. Amadi said Mr. Nyegwa is not the paramount ruler but an imposter and has been restrained by the paramount ruler of the community, Eze Bekwele Weli Atam. He also said that Mr. Nyegwa has been stripped of his 2 chieftaincy titles by court judgment over fraudulent acts. Mr. Amadi further accused Mr. Nyegwa of selling over 400 plots of community land. He said all things belonging to the community are under the supervision of the CDC in line with a court judgment. When contacted, Mr. Nyegwa insists he is still the paramount ruler of Ruma Olu community. He denied all claims by Mr. Amadi and accused him of fraudulent acts. We go for another short break. When we come back, foreign news. Now, on the foreign scene, Peru has a female president for the first time after ex-president Pedro Castillo was impeached hours after he tried to dissolve parliament. Dina Boluarte, previously the vice president, was sworn in after a dramatic day in Lima on Wednesday. Earlier in the day, Mr. Castillo had said he was replacing Congress with an exceptional emergency government. But lawmakers ignored this and in an emergency meeting impeached him. He was then detained and accused of rebellion. On the news this morning, you heard Rivers State government has sealed an event center in Port Harcourt. Governor Wike will flag off Rumigbo internal roads today. APC has reacted to the court judgment that cleared the party to contest 2023 elections. Federal government has explained the recent probe by ICPC into N-Power. On the foreign scene, Peru's president Pedro Castillo has been replaced by Dina Boluarte after impeachment. The news was edited by Martha Okere. Cloudy weather in Port Harcourt today. Collect your PVC and vote. Your vote is your voice. I am Kalada Kurubatubo. Good morning. Morning Crossfire returns. Stay tuned.